Shady, why you seem so annoyed at me, man? You seem so annoyed at me.
Wow. He's not alone.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Negative.
I haven't seen you in a while. I
this
thought
guy's
you'd be a little more...
instigator and so negative.
Shady, I just say what I see.
It's crazy.
I say what I see.
What do you mean, mess up a good thing?
Yes, sir. Warriors, it was one...
Chips.
It was...
Chip.
It was, no,
Chip.
It was 91-87. Then it's 91-88. Warriors are right there in the thing. Draymond Green gets ejected, and what happens during the rest of the game, Shady? Clay hit a three. Clay hit another three. Warriors would have been up. Would have been up. Listen, if not for all the drama.
I'll say this, and Joy talked about it earlier. All them championships you just talked about that you just kind of skimmed over real quick.
Skimmed?
Without Draymond Green and that attitude and maybe him getting ejected for this game or that game or showing that compassion, that attitude, that toughness that, you know, that we all love, they won't have them championships. So you got to deal with that. You got to deal with the good and the bad. I hate when people want to pick this, pick that. Oh, man, you know, it's a good thing. Is it a bad thing? No, it's a great thing. We need that good and we need that bad. And without that, that equals a championship.
Shady, there's a fine line between tough and stupid, between tough and ignorant. And Draymond Green crosses that line far too often. What was tough about stepping on Sabonis' chest?
Hold on.
What was tough about hitting LeBron James in a place with the sun? What was tough about any of it?
But see, that sounds cool, right? That sounds cool, but they get championships because of the attitude.
And I would say they would have more. I would say that they would have more if he knew how to control it.
4 or 5, I don't know how many more they would have more.
That matters.
I know this. They got 4 championships because of the way Draymond is. You said that it's stupid and all the other stuff. All that stuff you talked about, that's why they got championships. That's why they got championships.
So Draymond Green, you're saying he does not need to be able to channel his emotions out. Just let him rush out.
Yes.
Because they got chips, he can just do whatever. Step on people, hit people in the... Am I allowed to say, like, what can I say on television?
The private part.
You asking
say
me?
the private part.
You've been on TV longer.
Hit the private part.
I don't know. What you trying to say?
When he was hitting LeBron James,
and then, you know, you could say, like, the nether regions.
Private part?
Private parts.
I say private part.
Yeah.
Hey, all I'm saying is this. You add all that up, you used to talk about him, and that equals a championship. Come on, simple as that.
I'm fervently annoyed right now, Slick, and the reason is the Warriors have not been down 0-2 in a playoff series since 2007, if I am not mistaken. They've never been in this situation before. Draymond Green alluded to the fact post-game in his presser that they've never been in this situation before. The Sacramento Kings are a younger version of the Warriors. I believe it is a Spider-Man meme, but it's kind of like Spider-Man and Venom. When Venom had all the abilities of Spider-Man, they were just in excess. That's what I'm seeing right now, is the Warriors are a lesser version of the Kings. Now, I think the Warriors are better. I still think they'll win the series. But as it stands right now, I am worried. Am I tripping?
Yes, you are. You are tripping. And I understand Shady's frustration.
Well, thank you, Slick.
Because I'm watching that 2016, and you couldn't figure out where he, you know, whether he took a shot to the twigs and berries or not. But the fact of the matter is, he got suspended a game for that?
Yeah, watching that now seems a bit crazy.
Are you seeing the replay? It's like he didn't make contact. He was frustrated.
It was because of the technical fouls that he had accumulated.
He had accumulated a certain number.
Okay, but still, like, you took that measure to take him out of an NBA Finals game because of
Don't do that. He did it to himself. You stop that, Slick. You stop that. Don't blame the NBA because Draymond Green hit him in the feathers and leathers.
Look, should they be worried? No.
Feathers.
You need like 4 for that, but I hear where you're going.
Completely off the rails.
We're really trying to do a show today, guys.
Here we go. Look, the Warriors have demonstrated all year long that they are a demonstrably different team at home than they are on the road. That their role players in particular play like monsters at home, and their issue has been that they haven't played that way on the road. And yet, in spite of all of that, they had the ability to win both of these games in Sacramento. So not only am I feeling good about them coming back home, knowing how their role players are going to play, but fact of the matter is, they have made improvement over the last couple of weeks in how they play on the road.
Fair.
So
that's true. Yeah.
I just, as close as these games were, knowing what Chase Center is like, and knowing how their role players respond. I mean, they got the Kings got 32 points out of Davion Mitchell and Malik Monk off the bench, 6 assists and 1 turnover. Those guys were instrumental. Malik Monk hit their first 3. Starters gone 0 for 10. Kings were not hitting threes. Davion and Malik came in, went 4 for 4, turned that game in the second quarter, okay? Meanwhile, the Warriors got 4 points out of Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
They got nothing out of Dante DiVincenzo.
Yep.
Like, Gary Payton was the only one who showed up
Yeah, he did.
off the bench for the Warriors. As close as these games were, expecting just a little bit of a shift. If the two benches play even, then the Warriors are winning going away.
Joy, where do you stand on this? Because I don't like, as a fan, to hope on an if, right? Like, you will be in Cabo and Cancun saying, if we just got more from Jordan Poole, if this, if that. Clearly, though, the Warriors are champions 4 times with this really core of 3. Should they be worried? Should they be, all right?
What they should be worried about, or what's unfortunate for the Warriors, is this now will be a long series. And that's what you didn't want.
True. Yeah,
so
true.
that's really where I am with it. I'm not concerned about them going home and evening the series up or any of that. I don't think they're out of it. I don't think it should panic. This is a must-win game that's coming up, but it's not the end of the world. And they've had to overcome things before with this core. They're well coached. Everyone knows what's on the line. All of that. It's more to me about however this plays out. The best case scenario is this is now going to be a long series.
Yeah.
And that's more time. If they do end up winning the series, what does that mean for the next series that's coming up? And in the first round, this was probably something that you wanted to avoid. And that's why that first game is really heartbreaking, and how this game turned out really hurts as well, because you had an opportunity, as Rick said, to at least even the series up before you went back home and find a way to shorten the series, and that's just not going to happen now. But until they take one at Chase Center, I'm going to pause on the reactions. Now, give them credit.
Yeah.
You have to give the Kings credit, because we're talking all about the Warriors here. You do have to give the Kings credit.
And how much of what we're talking about is because we did not expect this from the Kings? Let's be honest. We expected the Warriors, at the very least, to split the series with Sacramento.
I thought they would split it, but I do think that we are kind of glossing over what the Kings have done this year, because we have not seen the Kings, obviously, in this position for a very long time, almost 2 decades, and it's difficult to overcome that kind of stigma when you're an organization.
Here's my thought, though, and Shady, maybe you can track with me on this, is like, if you don't worry now, at what point do you worry? I remember when COVID first broke, 2019, hadn't gotten COVID. I found out I had hung out during Thanksgiving with a family friend. Got a call, hey, turned out I just test positive. Next thing you know, I'm quarantining. I hadn't tested positive yet, but I was quarantining. I wasn't worried day one. Checking the temperature, 98.6, we're good. But I didn't need to wait to see the temperature exceed 100 to be like, oh, I'm sick. As soon as I saw 99 point, I was worried, because I knew what was coming. Shady, my thought is like, we can't wait till you're down 3-0 to be worried. By then, the series is over. I'm worried at 2-0 because, as we talked about with the Suns-Clippers, only an 8% chance that the Warriors will come back from down 2-0. Last 20 years, statistically speaking, only an 8% chance. If you don't worry now, isn't it too late to worry because series death is looming?
Yeah, well, I think the big difference is with the Clippers. Like, they were the away team that beat, the Suns. If they beat them, that'd be 2-0, and they're an away team. Where I feel like with the Warriors, we know the pedigree of winning, the history. But then, like, if the Sacramento Kings did what they had to do, which they did.
Handle business at home.
They handle business. You go to the Warriors, they handle business. Then that's when it's a real game. But if they lose this game 3, then I'm worried. Oh, whoa, Warriors in trouble.
But isn't it too late?
No.
Because now the Warriors aren't even in trouble. I don't know, has anybody come back from down 3-0? I'll wait on Andy and stats to tell. Nobody's ever come back from down 3-0. So if you're down 3-0, it's too late to worry, big dog. You book the funeral.
I get that, but
book the person's the eulogist. Like, now it's a wrap.
I know, but it's set up like that. How it's set up, right? You play this whole season to get seeding, right? Everyone wants to be the number 1 seed, right? And then you play the weaker team. So if the Suns did what they're supposed to do, they did all year, played well, and they win at home, they're supposed to do that. So when the Warriors, they go back home, they're supposed to win.
Kings, yep.
That's how it's set up. So we gonna find out. The pressure comes if they lose this next game.
Yeah, look, if it was again, I said it with the Clippers, that all bets are off because it's the Clippers. If it was any other team other than the Warriors, like, no team has ever come back down from 0-3. If there's ever any team that might be capable of that, it's a team that has won as many championships as this team has done. Let's not forget, before they lost going down 3-1 going up 3-1 to the Cleveland Cavaliers, they came back from being down 3-1 against the Oklahoma City Thunder in the conference finals. I'm not saying that this is that same team. I do think that they're vulnerable. To your point, saying that the Kings feel like the young Warriors, I do feel like overall we're seeing a shift in the power of the league right now.
Slick, are you coach sports at any level, have you?
Yeah.
Team. It was one of the most annoying things, Shady, Joy, obviously, y'all both athletes. The acronym, together everyone accomplishes more. Team. The Warriors are not the same team, whether it's together everyone accomplishes more or the same team that won championships as we're used to seeing. We all know that because we've seen the chemistry over the course of this season implode. Not even talking about the punch. If y'all recall about 2 months ago when Draymond Green tries to pass the ball to Poole, Clay ends up getting it, and I think Clay, because of Draymond's frustration, he doesn't see that Clay's trying to pass him the ball. They're arguing on the court. It was chaos. I would ride with you if it was the same Warriors team. But to me, this is not the same Warriors team. Remember Poole last year, first round? Steph Curry was coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Poole was dropping 30. Like, it was Poole's team because Steph was just chilling, coming back from his injury. This Jordan Poole is hardly even involved or engaged. He's making a mockery while other teams are shooting free throws. This just, Joy, it's not the same team as I watch the teams, and I've been watching these Warriors for probably too long, all things considered.
Look, admittedly, I am not a Warriors fan. I like the Warriors, but I'm not a fan of the team, so I can't get emotional about it. I'm sure they're aware of the stakes, but I just can't. I gotta see it at home. Like, they play so good at home. I gotta see it.
Crazy good at home.
That building, especially with everything that just happened with Draymond, place is gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
I gotta see it.
Are you concerned at all? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the Kings have the best road record, second to only the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yep, correct.
So, for us who have to see it, because I'm with you, if the Warriors win the two, but like, the Kings are built for this. Funny enough,
They
it's
absolutely
crazy
are.
as that
And
sounds.
guess what?
Built for this.
Guess what? Their seedings for the playoffs, for a reason.
Yeah.
They were the better team throughout the entire season, which is why they had 2 home games to start the series. So the Sacramento Kings are doing what they are looking how they looked in the regular season, which sometimes doesn't happen. So let's give the Kings a little bit of credit. Let's admit that the Warriors are not the same team that we've seen, not even the same team as last year. They have a little bit of stuff they have to work through. And if you focus on their pedigree, you can feel good about it. But we'll find out next game.
Final thoughts, Liz.
That's how good they are. That's crazy.
But let's also understand that playing a game that's going to give you a stranglehold on a playoff series is on the road is different than playing a road game in the regular season. Like, now the pressure starts to shift back the other way on Sacramento in terms of we're up 2-0. We're supposed to, like, we're in the driver's seat. They haven't even been in the playoffs, much less in the driver's seat. How do you respond to that? All of this is brand new to them. And I always side, no matter where a team is, that experience that they have in how to react to a certain situation.
Very good point.
Warriors have it.
The Warriors are champs until someone dethrones them. The Kings have the first shot at it.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.